Over the next 5 years, cybersecurity is shaping up to be a battle fought with artificial intelligence against threats we can't even see yet. In this explainer, we're going to break down the future of our digital defense and, more importantly, figure out where you fit into all of this. So really, what does the future of cybersecurity hold? And look, this isn't just a question for the tech pros in some server room anymore. Over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack the key trends that will define our digital safety all the way through 2026 and probably well beyond. And why should you care? Because as our world gets more and more connected, the simple, kind of scary truth is anyone can be a target. Anyone can be hacked. This isn't some far-off corporate problem. We're talking about your data, your identity, your security. This affects all of us. All right, so to really get a handle on where we're headed, we've got to look back at how we even got here. The threats we're facing today didn't just pop up overnight. Nope, they're the result of decades of insane technological acceleration. Okay, what's wild about this is just the sheer scale of the change. Back in the 90s and 2000s, you could pretty much count the big world-shaking viruses on one hand. Remember the I love you worm? That felt huge back then. Fast forward past 2010, and suddenly we have this whole new dictionary of attacks. Stuxnet, WannaCry, each one hitting hundreds of millions of people. But after 2020, forget about it. With things like the Log4j bug affecting millions of servers at once, and massive data breaches becoming just another Tuesday, the attacks got so frequent they just became, well, background noise. And that right there, that is the core idea of this whole thing. For every brilliant innovation, for every new way we connect with each other, someone is figuring out a new way to break it. And then someone else has to figure out a new way to defend it. It's this relentless, never-ending cat and mouse game. So this never-ending race brings us straight to our first huge future trend, artificial intelligence. And it's not just some buzzword. AI is about to become both the most powerful new weapon for attackers and the most essential new shield for defenders. You see, the future cyber battlefield isn't going to be humans versus AI. It's going to be AI versus AI. For the attackers, this means AI can write perfectly convincing phishing emails, create scarily realistic deepfakes of your boss, or find weaknesses in a network faster than any human possibly could. But on the flip side, the good guys have AI too. It can spot tiny weird patterns in network traffic that scream attack, and it helps human analysts cut through the noise to focus on what really matters. In this new arms race, the winner is just whoever has the smarter AI. And if you think that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, well, it's not. This is a real quote, a real story. An attacker used AI to clone his CEO's voice, called the IT help desk, and totally fooled them into resetting his password. Just like that, they had full access. This is happening today. Can you imagine how much better this is going to get? It is a total game changer. So with threats like that on the horizon, our old ways of thinking about security, they're just not going to cut it anymore. The digital castles we've built with firewalls as the big strong walls, yeah, they're crumbling. So let's look at how we're being forced to rethink our defenses from the ground up. First up, and thank goodness for this, finally getting rid of the password. For decades, it's been the weakest link in the chain. We all know the drill, right? We forget them, we reuse them, they get stolen in data breaches. Passwordless authentication changes the game entirely. Instead of something you know, it's based on something you are, like your fingerprint, or something you have, like a little security key or just a quick tap on your phone. So much simpler and way, way more secure. Okay, next up is something that sounds a bit out there, but it's absolutely critical: preparing for quantum computers. To put it simply, these machines will be so powerful they could crack today's encryption in like seconds. Everything we rely on to keep data safe would be useless. That's why there's a huge race to create post-quantum cryptography, or PQC. It uses a whole new kind of math that even these super powerful quantum computers won't be able to solve easily. And this might be the biggest shift of all. It's not just a new tool, it's a whole new way of thinking. It's called the zero trust model, and it's a complete 180 from how we've done things in the past. Think about the old way, right? It was like a medieval castle. You had a big wall and a moat, your firewall. If you got past that and were inside the network, people generally trusted you. The system assumed you were one of the good guys. The problem? Once an attacker got over that wall, they were inside and they could pretty much roam free. Zero trust throws that whole idea in the trash. Its motto is super simple: never trust, always verify. Trust? No. 1. It doesn't care if you're inside the network or outside. Every single time you try to access a file or an app, you have to prove who you are. Every single time. It makes an attacker's job infinitely harder. All right, let's zoom out for a second. These new defenses are so important because the number of things we have to protect is just exploding. We're not just worried about computers and servers anymore. We're trying to secure our entire connected world.
I mean, just take the Internet of Things, or IoT. We're talking about over 16 billion connected devices out there. Smart speakers, traffic lights, medical implants, you name it. And here's the kicker. A lot of them were built for convenience and a low price, not for security. Every single one is a new door an attacker can try to open. And when a breach happens, the financial fallout can be absolutely devastating.
And that's where something called cyber insurance comes in. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like health insurance, but for a company's digital life. If they get hit with a ransomware attack, the insurance policy helps cover the massive costs, paying for investigators, restoring systems, all of it. It's quickly becoming a must-have, a non-negotiable part of doing business. Okay, so we've talked threats, we've talked tech, but none of it matters without the final, most important piece of the puzzle, people. You. This is where it all comes back home and why your role is shifting from just watching on the sidelines to being an active participant. Now, this is really interesting because it kind of flies in the face of what we always hear. For years, the story has been about a massive skills gap in cybersecurity. But as awareness grows and training gets better, more and more people are flooding into the field, even from totally non-tech backgrounds. And the result? Competition for jobs is actually getting tougher. The demand isn't just for more bodies anymore. It's for people with deep, specialized, and really extraordinary skills in these new areas we've been talking about. So what's the bottom line for you? Well, it kind of breaks down into 3 groups. If you're already a pro in this field, you have to start learning about AI and zero trust right now. If you're trying to break into cybersecurity, focus your studies there. Don't just learn the basics. Specialize in what's coming next. And for literally everyone else, the message is simple. Stay aware. The attacks are getting smarter, which means our own personal vigilance has to get stronger. And that really brings us to the final question. This digital world we've built is changing at a mind-boggling speed. The threats are more advanced, the defenses are more complex, and our reliance on all of it is absolute. Which leaves us all with one crucial thought. Are we ready for what's next?